8 rounds down, 2 to go. Sims and Avenger to drive you through this absolutely wild roller coaster that we've had so far, because now it's coming down to crunch time. Welcome back to the Monster Energy DreamHack studio. Martin. It's getting to that point now where teams are looking to finally stamp the ticket, solidify the win, solidify the tickets to...
Put their names, slowly putting their names, making sure, okay, is my passport still in date? Do I need to order a new one? Yeah. It looks like that Liquid, FaZe, and Kinguin are going to Austin as it looks now.
However...
But...
Still 2 maps.
And
it all comes down to not only where the teams that are outside of the top 3 finish, but where the teams inside the top 3 finish. Are we going to get that point, tactically speaking, where teams begin to go hunting?
Yeah.
The Penguins have a target on the back.
And I mean, the thing is though, they're still, I mean, Rogue is kind of the only team that can make it. They're 500-600 points behind them. But the thing is though, when you do this hot drop, if they do go hot drop them now, it's going to happen. They're probably going to lose 1 or 2 players. And then they still have the rest of the server to play against. So Rogue, they're going to think, okay, we're not going to hot drop these guys. We'd rather have 4 guys alive going into the end game, because it's kind of still, it's a 1v1, but if it was a 1v1 to if they were equal on points, that's another talk, but they're behind. They need also to win over the rest of the server to actually get into the top 3.
And obviously hot dropping, you have a very good potential of losing players as well. So it's high risk, high reward.
And also, if you go on home turf where the Penguins are in the South George area, you might end up losing more than 1 or 2. You might end up losing in all 4, and that's just really bad.
Well, I do believe we actually have the populated standings to show you how we sit moving into game number 9. FaZe Clan have indeed done the dirty and overtaken Team Liquid, and not just by a small margin either. 200 points, 1,900 for placement. My God, 700. So 680 in total. 180 behind Team Liquid. Then we move down by about, and again, even that itself, Martin, it's still a decent gap. 260 till Chaos. They're going to struggle to really catch things up. To really catch things up here, FaZe, Liquid, and Kinguin would have to get smashed about early game in order to be able to pull this one back. So all eyes are on Rogue and Na'Vi. What are they going to do? How are they going to approach this one? Will they carry on playing the way they have been, or will they try something new? Will they try and rush potentially Kinguin? Will they try and rush potentially some of these top teams, send them packing early game, and then play for the placement? Theoretically, that's the only way they win this, surely? Unless we just see FaZe, Liquid, or Kinguin really balls up.
Unless we see a Vanga taking out Kinguin in some early rotations, or they lose some players early and they go out in 13, 14, 15, 16, and then Rogue has a bomb of a game with 15 kills and a win. Then it's kind of open for the last game. And then we could maybe talk again about, are they going to hard drop? Are they going to do something? But I still think that having 4 players alive is just so vital.
Well, let's talk about Rogue and Na'Vi a little bit more, because these teams, let's be honest, Martin, they're no pushover in themselves. They're very consistent. We've seen Na'Vi perform on LAN at GLL. We haven't seen a major event winner of Rogue yet. But you were speaking about, obviously, the old Air Station Mike roster. They have been really consistent when it comes to not only this event, but other events as well.
Yeah, I mean, they qualified for other events. They qualified for Katowice. They qualified for a lot of events themselves, and they're just so consistent getting those top placements. You also see it here. Being consistent, it's not for fun they have that 4th spot. It's because they're just that consistent. And they're, looking at the leaderboards, of course, the 4th most consistent right now. And that's very interesting going in in the 2 weeks, because we also have the next qualifier, and then 3 really strong teams go away, and then we're going to see the teams that are slightly below them, that they're not going to contest for those good spots anymore. They're just going to be able to rack all the points up again. So if they just keep this consistency up, they might not end up getting that tickets today, but in 2 weeks, when we have the second double elimination part going, where we have 2 spots, that might be ending up some Na'Vi or Rogue taking those.
I mean, it's a toss-up when you look at this one. Okay, they get a second chance, and there's some more lesser known. You get lesser known teams entered into the fray.
Yeah.
You get your big bad boy names out of the competition.
Exactly.
They're not in there. But then again, the score gap and score margin does turn down, because there's only 2 placements that time. And that's when it becomes very cutthroat. 2 placements out of 16 teams, that's pretty nasty. And I think it's going to be one of those events where anything goes. There's no rules, no respect. It's just, hey, if he's there, kill him. Send him out and flush him.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think in this position, Rogue would, of course, hope for is just the top 5 today that goes through, but also to make it more open for play and also bringing new teams. It's also a good way to do this double elimination.
I like it. It's good. Things have been good so far. The server's getting kicked up in the background, so it won't be long. You won't have to hear us mutter on for too long. Shout out to PUBG for these amazing bits of gear.
Yep.
That's actually mine.
I borrowed it.
He's borrowing it today. If anyone at PUBG Corp can hook a brother up, just give him some swag so he doesn't have to wear mine, because I ain't even worn it yet. I ain't even worn it yet. You are breaking in my clothing.
Thank you for letting me borrowing it.
It's not a problem, brother.
Yeah,
I got you.
thank
I got you.
you.
Good casting this weekend, dude.
Yeah, you too.
I'm enjoying the colour. I'm enjoying the insight.
Yeah, you like it?
You're not a pro player anymore, though. You're just a washed-up mere caster. You do have to remember that. That's what you do have to remember.
It looks like the path I'm going down is getting more and more solidified on being this. But thank you for having me, of course. It's I've been doing some analyst stuff, and also this casting I really enjoyed, especially with such a talented young man like you.
I'm not telling it. I just sit here pretend to know what I'm talking about, when really I'm just a really trashy 2,500 elo matchmaking kid. I'll have you know. I'm not a pushover. I'll take a fight. I'll go chase a crate. I'll camp a bridge.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'll do it. I'm happy playing.
I remember also Ansvar killing you sometimes in Hot Drop. Yeah. So.
Oh mate, he triggered me off the face of a cliff last week. So I had down in Milta, you've got those buildings where you got the garage attached to them, and you got the stairwell. I actually tricked him. He didn't know where I was, so I saw him. And the thing is that you get into this point and anyone who plays competitive PUBG will know this. You can tell people by the clothing. He runs around in a skirt.
Yeah.
He runs around in a skirt and a little flat top cap with the microphone out the side. So I saw the skirt and I thought, that's Ansvar. I absolutely know 100% that's definitely Ansvar. So I dinked him from the top, put a shot on him, he hid inside the building. I went to the stairs and you got that little letterbox window, and I smashed him from that letterbox, and I thought, oh, we're in for a kill. I'm going to kill this bugger. I'm going to take him out. And then he just shot me with the DP and hit me in the head. Man, I was so pissed off.
Especially because it's Ansvar. You know him.
I knew from the skirt, I thought, this is definitely Ansvar. And he's got a red and stripy. He's got his red and white T-shirt. He's got his skirt on, his little stupid hat. This bullet just hits me in the face. I just thought, oh, man, I want to throw my PC out the window now. It just says Ansvar, Nox Sims. I just thought, oh, God. And then, of course, I grenaded myself the previous round. So he literally sent me a message on Steam saying, lol, and photoshopped it, you know, as you kind of expect to do. Apologies about the slight delay here, guys. We will be getting this server live as soon as possible. But while you're waiting, help us out. Share the stream. Let everyone know what's going on. I think we're sat at 9.3k, so we have jumped up another 1,000. We're closing in on that 10,000 bracket mark. That's where we want to be. We want to be above 10k, because there's a lot on the line. It's an amazing show so far. I am getting a quick update. We are getting a reserver, so we will keep going. Get a reset on that server, and we'll keep going for this one for now. But let's really quickly bring up I think you've got the teams on there for the North American ones that I've already. In fact, I've got them written down here. So let's have a quick chat about the North American teams. We can bring that up and take a look at some of them that are going to be playing in next week's one. So these are the invited teams.
Yep.
Now, obviously, when we say invited, they're not invited to the event. They are simply invited to a closed qualifier. Optic Gaming, Noble, Envious, E-United, Ghost Gaming, Cloud9, Tempo Storm, and Totality.
Yeah. That's a strong lineup as well.
It is for North
teams.
America.
It is.
It's a very strong lineup. Let's pick a team where you want to talk about. I think I know who you're going to go for. I'd say Ghost.
To go from 16, it must be so rough. We had 2 days. So being able to go from 16 and going, you're basically in the basement, just mentality, and you're just so rough, and then turning all around, being able to have such good games on Miramar as well is really super well played by them.
Especially when a few people may say, was it beginner's luck? Because obviously at PGL, and just to kind of bring you up to speed on how this one worked out, Ghost had a few roster changes. They took on some European players, mixing it with NA. And they went to their first event after how long was it? 2 weeks together? Maybe
no,
a week?
Not even. I mean,
it was nothing.
It was nothing. It was less than 2 weeks. It was so little.
And they won. Simple as that. A major event, $100,000 major event, LAN event. They literally won it. So straight off the back of it, a few team changes, new roster, boom, for where you go. And I think obviously coming in day one of Global Loot League, seeing them at 16, it's like, are they really that good? And lo and behold, they just. I mean, every team has a bad day.
Yeah, exactly.
Every dog has its day. Every team has its bad day. They completely turned it around.
It really solidifies them and really sets it in stone that this is the best NA organization.
Really?
They are playing in NA. They have 2 Danish guys. They're trying to get them over there, but it isn't an NA org. It's a hybrid team, but it is an NA org. Optic as well. They really showed up as well at GLL. I think they did really good, but they were just behind.
The one team that I want to see step up is C9.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of I like Solid. I'm a big Solid fan.
Yeah. Are you a Solid fan?
I am. I'm a Solid fan.
A solid fan then.
Solid FPS fan.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to. Obviously, they've had some team changes. I think it's Frex who's gone back to another game. Chappie's no longer on that roster as well. So a few team changes, a few things going on there with C9. But I do think that a bit of practice, a bit of teamwork, maybe a team change. I don't know how things are going to pan down, but there's some solid players on it.
Maybe even taking Shroud.
He don't play for C9 anymore. That's why everything's gone bad.
Yeah.
He left C9, so. Everything's just gone downhill.
Yeah. It is. No, but what they did, though, they did have an amazing amount of kills. They had a lot of kills. They really fragged out at Yellow. But placements, not so much.
Which I suppose...
It's a rough competition as well. I mean, this is top 8 of NA through a season, top 8 of EU through a season. It's a really, really rough competition.
It would be fair to say there is a big difference in EU and NA. I don't think that's BM to say. There is definitely a big difference, and when you're going up against the best of the best, because the best in Europe at the moment is world class. I think it's absolutely fair to say, completely and utterly world class. Once again, apologies, guys. We do have to do a server remake, but as you know, getting all the players out, getting them all back in, it can be a bit of a pain. So we are getting that all in the background. We won't be talking for too much longer. As soon as we get this server up and running, I keep sneezing today. It's really annoying me.
Yeah. Your nose is really big as well, so it's a
What?
lot of sneezing. Now I'm joking.
It's not very nice on camera.
No,
I feel bad
not
now.
talking about Optic or Ghost. Other teams I think that can do good as well is United. They're a really, really good team that didn't do that good at PGL, but I really think that they have something to prove as well. So they want to do that as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing that as well, how it's gonna pan out. I don't remember much of the qualifying teams. They are still playing. They still have some qualifiers doing. They have some due today as well. I think it's the last day today as well, making sure that they're going to go. But I've seen some of the guys tweeting out, and there's some interesting team trying to make their way through it. Yeah.
I'll tell you who I'd like to see as well, kind of back in this one. Oh, God, I've completely gone blank now. I've forgotten his name. Luminosity, ex-player. Oh, no. I've gone blank. Good friend of mine as well. Drassel.
Yes, Drassel, yeah.
Drassel. I think Drassel is a force.
Yeah.
Like, he's a belting sniper. He's an incredible force. I kind of want to see Drassel back up at that. Obviously, we saw him first time at the Gamescom Invitational that time back winning the 4v4 event. And we're at 80 grand or something ridiculous.
80 grand, yeah.
80 grand. Didn't qualify for some of the major events we've seen more recently. But still, cracking player. Would love to see him in the Drassel box back into the fray. And the man's a grinder. He'll happily play all day long and go for it, and he knows what he wants.
But this is also really a time where you see the season is down, the Global League season is over, the Awesome season is over. So you really see a lot of roster changes coming out now as well, because this is before the big storm happening. We have a big event coming up, a world event coming up. We have the new season starting of Global League. We have a new season starting of Awesome. We have all these events coming out. So this is really the time where people want to crumble their team apart and maybe try to build it up again. So we're going to see a lot of roster changes coming up the next month as well.
Do you know what team kind of intrigues me that I'm waiting to see what happens with? NIP. Because it's a big organisation. It's got some bloody good individual talent on it. But we aren't seeing them at these events. We're not seeing them up top of these qualifiers. You know, they're not getting invited. These invites to the closed things and so on and so forth. It's a big org. It's a big brand. There's some really, really good players on it.
Yeah.
It just sometimes doesn't feel when I've watched them like something necessarily. There's no BM here talking about this. I'm very good friends with them all. Christ, I'll drink with Borg and the rest of them all day long. But do you think there's maybe something just not clicking on that roster?
I'm not sure if it's lack of motivation or what it is. I would love to. I'm good friends with them as well. I'd love to see them do really good again. Unfortunately for them, they haven't been qualifying. They didn't qualify for Global Loot League either, and we really haven't seen them in their game, because I know they can frag out. I know they can play really well, but I don't know if it's a team chemistry, it's lack of motivation, or what's going on. But it's a legendary organization, and I'd love to see them play really well and do really good.
I can totally appreciate that, but it doesn't do really wonders for your self-esteem if you're not qualifying for these things, if you're not getting invited to the closed qualifiers, if you're not playing the scrims against the top dogs, not getting in on these, because there's obviously only specific slots that coming on these scrims and so on and so forth. I mean, we're saying this, and NIP could be practicing all day long for all we know, but I can imagine for your own self-confidence it can be a little bit rough. But I know that team has potential. I know on that team there are 4 uniquely talented, goddamn good players, and I'm looking forward to the future of them. I really hope it pans out, and God knows they know I love them and I'll play with them all day long.
They could be one of the teams that, because they have such a great organization behind them, they could be one of the teams that actually go to the BAYAC event for this event, going to Austin, making sure, trying to qualify. But I guess, I mean, these 5 spots, I'm not saying it's easy to get there, but it's definitely easier than winning against 16 world-class regional teams that are playing in these close qualifiers here.
I think further for that team to add on to that, if they're 4 together, not only does that help them, gives them a chance to qualify for the main event, but it also gives them time together as a team, which I think they've all potentially gone to Sweden now?
Yeah, I think most of them are in Sweden now, yeah. Sweater did indeed fly out from NA and go to Sweden, so they are definitely in Sweden. Then again, I mean, it's plane tickets, everything. You have to go there, maybe even hotels if you're not staying in the big sleeping hall over there. But still, you could potentially go there in a kind of cheap way. Maybe rent some PCs over there. I'm not sure if you can do that through DreamHack, but I'm sure that you can rent PCs in the local area. If Austin is a big city, and potentially you could be just making the way there, because like 5 spots, it's a lot, and it's gonna be a BAYAC event feel as well. So you can just play games all the time at the event, making sure that you get those spots.
Well, I've been told the server is now just booting up in the back. Apologies once again for the delay. I'm assuming people are probably spamming start the game, shut the cast up by now, which we know just happens in Twitch chat, Kappa, and all that stuff, and the rest of the lully motes. Big shout out to NIP though. A lot of love for the boys out there. Wish them best of luck in the future, whatever they're doing. But this server is getting booted up. Remember, to bring it back to where we are now, we're going into map number 9, game number 9, series number 9, whatever you want to call it. Map number 9, and the points are starting to really rack up for the top 3 teams. They want to solidify their tickets. They want to punch their passport and book a plane ticket to DreamHack Austin. There's $100,000 on the line. First place takes home 50 grand. If you're wondering where all this is, we're going to be here for the next 4 weeks. This is the DreamHack PUBG Showdown at the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios, all sponsored by Corsair and, of course, Monster Energy. Thank you very much to those guys for making all this possible. It's been a fantastic 2 days so far. We're not even over. We've still got 2 maps to go, and some of the stuff we've seen has been some high quality and some really high level PUBG that we've seen out of these European rosters.
And Dean, I mean, it's not unexpected, but still the favorites doing what would you expect favorites to do. They are winning the games. You see the top 3 here. They have 6 of the 8 chicken dinners. They have 2 each in the top. And of course, this just shows that this is the world-class teams, and this is, of course, the teams that kind of deserves going through. If you take 2 chicken dinners, maybe even 3, we talked about it. How many chicken dinners are we going to see? We're going to see 3. We're going to maybe see 4. I don't think we're going to see more than 3. It's going to maybe be FaZe, maybe Kingwin, maybe League of Courts, but we're not going to see 4. We don't think we're going to see 1.
Definitely, is that you saying no? It's not happening.
Man, it's not happening.
I mean, FaZe.
Shut it down. I mean, just for the fun here. I don't hope anything bad. I don't want to jinx Kingwin, but it could be interesting to see if Kingwin falls out early and Rogue makes a really good play and make some really good games and take a win home maybe, so it's even more open for the last, because of course we want to see everybody being able to come here through, but does Kingwin, Liquid and FaZe, they just have 3 really, really good games? Do they all come top 7? Then 9th, the 10th game is just to play for the viewers, basically, right? Okay.
So I'm just getting an update in my ears how long we're going to be before this server starts. The 30 seconds time, so that's all you need to stay with us for 30 more seconds, then we're live. The bird will be taking off, she'll be taking away from the tarmac, and we'll be dropping some of these players out. It'll be go time, guys. Please, please, please tweet the stream. Let's get 10K. I think it was 9.3, 9.8 or something. We're closing in it anyway. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully North America's waking up. So hi North America, if you are joining us, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Grab your coffee, grab your PUBG, grab your PC, get your second monitor, get your dog, sit your dog down, stick him a little level 1 helmet on, put him in the corner, give him a bow. I don't know, whatever. Just get more eyes on this game. It's going to be a fantastic next 2 maps. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because anything is possible. Everything is now on the line. The last 2 maps, 3 teams trying to book their tickets to DreamHack Austin. It sounds like the server is live, so we're going to jump into the game now. And look at that plane. Martin, she is going from west to east coast, straight through the middle, my friend.
Yeah, very easy, open for everybody. Rogue here is going to have a kind of a long jump, but they're going to be able to take some cars close to the ferry and just drive over. Drainers and the boys from Navi, they're going their way down to Primorsk. Of course, Kingwin going into George. This is a really nice plane. This really opens up all possibilities for everybody, kind of. Only, of course, Rogue have a long jump. We have the guys going Cerveny and Stalbar and Kameski. Those guys have a bit of a long jump, but they can take cars and go all the way there.
So they'll be getting the vehicles, as you mentioned, looking for vehicles going across. They can do the long jump, but potentially a vehicle there for Natos Vinciers. They look towards Primorsk. Jazza and the rest of the boys from Rogue, they'll be heading down towards that military base. Depends on the circle, though. how much time they get to loot. Because again, excuse me, if you get a northern circle, it can put a lot of pressure on. They are going to have to travel across. Usual suspect, Milta Power, Vitality, and FaZe. They're going to be chilling down there. The Knights, they're looking around the Lippo area, just making sure no one else is kicking around, because if you look at that, 1, 2, 3 different members all close together, just heading up towards that main road on the left-hand side, excuse me, the right-hand side of Yasnaya, Kameshki, Stal, but that's usually where we see Crimson, but they'll be looking for these vehicles, so maybe, actually, Liquid will see them as well. So Liquid obviously hunting down for the vehicles. Early shots coming out from Cloudtail, I'm seeing, onto Liquid. Just the scare tactics on some players still dropping down from Liquid on Yasnaya. Still, the northern area of the map completely open. Usual suspects aren't going to the usual places. Stalba, Saverni, not seeing their teams in there. Roshog does have Havu in there also. We might, it all depends on this circle. We'll stay here until this circle actually drops itself on the map. Because honestly, this will definitely dictate the game. She is on the west coast.
This is a really, really good circle. I mean, it's okay for FaZe here. FaZe playing extremely well as well. Rogue here making their way into everything. FaZe is a team here. They had some rough games yesterday. They did make their way into the top 3 in the end of the day, but really showing themselves here, making sure that they are able to book their tickets for Austin, of course, paid by DreamHack. I mean, here, Rogue as well. I think Rogue is one of these teams that we need to look out for in 2 weeks as well, because Rogue, they did take a win. They did do some good plays last game. They had a rough rotation, but as you talked about, that push on DC was really crucial. Taking those points home, making sure that that placement was really important for them. Here, GMT has pushed a bit further here. They're really close.
Usual suspects, Millie base down here with Rogue. They'll be doing their thing and more than likely taking the West Hand Bridge. They need to be very careful that no one decides to take that West Bridge and actually camp them back. Force them in the blue, potentially even wipe them. FaZe, they have to go through several teams as they make their way to the circle, but as we saw in the previous round, they did a fantastic job making it into the top 4, even just by boat. And we saw both Kinguin and FaZe doing absolutely excellent rotations around the head of the pack, avoiding all the big fights, but still picking up a hell of a lot of kills along the way. Kinguin here, the boys with the targets sexually painted on their back. This could be, this game for them is so crucial, especially if you want to really try and solidify the final placement. There will become a point for certain teams where mathematically it's impossible not to book a ticket to DreamHack. However, we are not admins, we are not mathematical calculators. I'm not even going to try and do that on air for the love of it. We'll leave that to our beautiful admin team in the background. But as we've said, all these teams on the East Coast, they have to go through and they have to work it. The bigger question is anyone going to decide to try and gatekeep? Or a lot of people just going to kind of play it passive? DC, again, a team that's still not massively out of it. They are around the middle of the area. They're going to be chilling in Pachinki. He's going to be pissed. He's like, oh,
He's just going to be looking at it.
Oh, boys, what do we do about it?
Tries to nade it down.
It's a good effort.
I mean, it's a good try, but that's not going to happen. You can't really move those. You can catch them with the cars, so they are on top of the cars, but you can rare indeed.
Imperial on the move. They're still looking at that crate. Are they trying to work something out to try and get it down, or are they just looting underneath it? I'll be intrigued to see. Looks like they're working together to maybe try and ramp a vehicle up there or something. I don't know. Either way, I mean, if they get it, credit to them, to be fair. FaZe and Vitality. Ooh, Bullet comes back. And Octave does lay down some fire, but unfortunately he receives some himself. Looks like it's going to be Havu. Smoke will go down inside the shack. Banks it off the wall. Instant. To the yellows. Sun Touch from Imperial rotating as well. You'll see them moving around the backside. Jorski and the rest of the team from Havu. Sauna Boy's chilling, looking down the barrel of the gun. Only a red dot, only a level 1 helmet as well. That thing will easily get smashed to pieces if he just take a bullet to the brain, so he has to be careful. Further afield over here, Noxious. Level 2, level 2, level 2. AKM, what scopes he got? It's going to be a 4 times. But look at that kick.
And the holos you can change, but it's definitely those. I'm not sure about the 4Xs. Pajimanoda here, he has made his way up to this hill here, taking that early. He's going to move a bit around it. Rogue already making their move into the zone as well. They're coming early. That's really early for Rogue. They're making the move close to the middle of the zone. Havu as well, making their way into it. Cloudtail is fighting with Kavorkan right now. Kavorka is taking a really early position here as well. T-Bone and Rix, they're still inside Servany. They have to make a move soon. Liquid on the move as well in the north. Pokamolidar here, they're close to each other. Rogue, oh, he's gonna stop, he's gonna take some shots. He's gonna connect 1, 2, on to Jazza, 3.
Oh.
Jazza taking down to just 30% HP. He has to disconnect from this fight, just try to make a run for it.
That'd have been wild if it had managed. I mean, a belting attempt from. Oh, look at this though. Compound push. Walker. 3 versus 1. He does have the stairwell, so he can at least get a choke point on them, but he goes to load up the grenade. Will he bail from this? The nade's out. It's cooked. He's primed. He can jump out the back window, but unfortunately, if he does, he's got to play waiting for him. Smokes there. Hip fire. Tap, tap, tap. Swings it round, but unfortunately misses it, and he's dead and buried. He's gone. Pity. Bags himself a body, 12 points and some free loot as well, so they'll be able to loot that one happily. Kingwim, they've opted to move out of Georgiaport, which is fair play to them, but as they've got a little bit closer to the center of the circle, so have a lot of other teams. Larsen's actually going to be disengaging and going further back to his teammate. Shiv with the grenade onto her rack. Will just bait out the vehicle. Suntrup's there as well. He hears the call come through, so he needs to answer this one. He can hold Cloudtail here, but he's got to be very careful because there's still 3 members here. So he's going to commit to this. Has to be really careful though, because look at how wide that Suntouch is pulling this. He might be able to peek over that hill and just get him on the flank. If I were Reals, I'd be disengaging here. Like he's sitting still, regardless if you've got your teammates behind you or not. Oh, that's why, because T-Bone's out on the flank. Okay, Suntouch's like, nope, nope. I'm out. Level 2, level 3, so he can take a fight if he needs to. Manage to loot one.
Suntouch is also very fashionable. He likes those scarves.
T-Bone's tanked.
Oh, nice shot by NBS. Fantastic taking down T-Bone here. They have multiple angles on them here. Crimson on a really hard position on them. T-Bone is going to lose his life here. Rixness has to disconnect from this fight right now. Gonna finish him off.
Kill. Crimson, 12 points in the bag. Happy days for them. 60 players alive. We've lost 4. And we're only around our first circle. As you can see with the little blue man, the little running man. It will be crunching in soon. The Knights are also on the rotation. They're going up across the north and all the way down to the east. Look at this. Taking it wide. They're all staying in the vehicles and they're all going to continue driving.
Oh!
And they are actually still in. Gent side, top of the building, level 3, 8 times. Going for the full spray at long distance. Pokemolody drain is shade. The rest of Na'Vi, they're moving. They want some prime position. Look at the other run away from the rest of his CIS compadres. They're out. The bullets will be coming down. Will any of them connect? I think he did catch one. But they at least take him and push him out from the compounds.
Noxious is down to 1 as well. So these teams has already sacrificed or lost a lot of members. No, that's not true. Real6, he actually has the other bridge here. Rixness and Real onto Ewan here from Rogue. They did lose 1 member, but are they going to push him? Another member coming in from the Plumbers.
We have to remember as well, man, while this is all going down, Gaxy's gone, Kingwin, 4th vehicle explosion. Eowyn picks up 12 points for his team. And unfortunately, Kingwin, they lose 1. They go on the long rotation, but the Knights are there. They've seen where they're coming through. Red zone, they've taken Georgiapol crit, so happy days for them. On the opposing side of the map, Digital Chaos, FaZe, they're kind of stuck in the middle of all of this. Havu, Liquid, they're looking to make their approach as well. They're sitting happy on, you either call it Everest or Georgiapol Mountain, Georgiapol Hill, whatever you want to call it. Plenty of different names for that big old thing, but still, lots of high ground, lots of defilades to play off of, lots of rocks. You can do kind of whatever you want. Still all the way at the north and all the way far down south outside of Pachinki. Very prime territory. This next circle will crunch them together, but it all depends which way it decides to go.
Yeah, Havu here in a really strong position, Jensa in a really strong position, but then this river here, we talked about it so many times. This river really splits up the map in 2. It can't go south, it can't go north. You really have to put your eggs in a kind of basket here. FaZe has put it on the east side so they can cross or go into the river or take the bridges here. There's a really good decision here from them. DC further east, and the next one is going to pop, and it's going to favor DC a bit here, or at least granting them a bit of luck, and now they can take this Atlantic City if they want to. FaZe in a really strong position as well. The single compound, Genside inside as well. Havu, they're going to move on to the castle here as well.
Martin, how powerful is Venice Watertown, whatever you want to call it? How powerful is that position now on this map?
I mean, it's a strong position, but the thing is, it's a
Rogue
big...
are gone, 16th.
Rogue is out on 16, not what they could have hoped for as well. I mean, this really solidifies the top 3. I mean, for me, it's kind of safe to say that now these top 3 teams, they are 100% sure. Shadow taking some damage from Jake side here. It's going to be taking out Vitality. They are pushing I'm not sure they knew it, but they're trying to make a push for it. Now taking fire from
to the Rogue instant, but go back and talk to me a little bit more about the Watertown area.
the Watertown area is kind of an area where you can go if you want to, of course, but it's a city. The thing is, we have this big of a zone. You're not sure if you want to take the city already. You kind of want to take the edges here. You see DC taking the southern side here, where you can get in easy, you can get out easy, but you walk slow. It's there's a lot of windows. It's just a big place for a lot of players. But you don't want to put all the eggs in the basket already, because if you go there and you have to exit later, then everybody's gonna die, or at least only one team is gonna survive coming out of it. So these teams are not gonna be pushing that at all. Oh, Pete here, that was way too fast. He went into the water and then get knocked out and died. Pete taking out Larsen. Kingwin, they're just gonna salvage this round a bit. Miracle is gonna try to get under the bridge maybe.
Ibiza, Liquid, onto Minoto. His POV now. Frost back onto Mumina as well, so Vanga falling victim here. Oh! See you later, friend. Big grenade comes through, they're getting tapped fired down. Frozza sees one. Dees goes down, so Vanga getting picked apart, left, right, and center. His teammates are behind him. Enzo Lenzo comes in with a K9. Finds a headshot onto Piddy, so a little bit of revenge there for one of his comrades getting shot earlier on. Easy 12 points for Froz. Happy with that one. Red zone moving their way up. 50 players remaining, 15 teams. A little bit rough on Rogue's end, unfortunately. As you said, that was one of the team that would be chasing away, and yeah, that's not good. And it might depend on where the rest of the teams do end up. As we say, it looks kind of solid for those three teams, and they'll have seen that. While this is going on, this is another mental game, mine, that we don't really talk about, but we need to touch on. You know, these teams will be making a mental note of all the players that are falling, who's still alive, which teams are still on, and again, this is where someone like a coach will be monitoring that kill feed and saying, okay, this is up, who's down, this is still alive, this is where we generally go to, and having that fifth man with the voice making note of these, it adds so much more diversity to the game.
It does indeed. Drainage here, and these boys, they're going to pull out a bit, but look at how this southwestern side is really packed. Skoom is there, Liquid is there, Navi is there, the Plumbers are there. There's so many teams from the southwestern side, and not that many on the north. It's also because, of course, there's so much teams in the southern part. But talking about this mental game, it's also really important because it's a lot of pressure. You have to stay consistent over 10 games. Samty taking out Yuki. That's one of the Plumbers going down. Samty's putting some pressure on the Plumbers now as well. Hayes is on 30%.
Liquid slowly kind of work their way around. Reese B does have the smokes. Another knock comes through, so the Reese B might be the last man standing. Skoom takes out Hayes. Frozza runs over Frozza. Interesting. You did say about Frozza's driving skills. That's questionable at the least.
Yeah, a bit.
Joski onto Piddy. Pigeon Minoto onto another one as well. Look at all this kill feed. It's all cracking off, boys. Frozza's dead. Might have just killed himself, unfortunately. 46 alive, 15 teams. Which will be the next team to fall. Gent side are taking a lot of damage. James comes through onto Reese B. Plumbers, they are not looking good. I think they may potentially just have one person left. Who's that going to be?
That's Stab.
It's Stab.
And
he's dead. He's gone. Plumbers, they get flushed, unfortunately.
Navi as well here in a position between two teams, between Vitality and Gensai. They really don't have anything to push here. They Shady Snog. Now they're pushing. Pokemon taking down Egidorp. They're going to push this now, and the new zone has popped, favoring the Atlantic City again. DC in a strong position. They have a two-man split going, and now Knights, they're going to try to push this.
Double crate drop. Sellers coming in with a headshot onto Enzo Lenzo. Same applies for Jambaway. Headshot comes through onto UpG, finishes him off as well. Crimson's back themselves well. Genside coming in, for they want to fight. Two knocks there, Drayden and Pokemon. So Knights, and also now still 40 players. Two teams have fallen. Jawson got on the bridge side. The blood splatters there, so they tanked him up. Should have a decent level of armor because it didn't do too much damage. Just scraped him. Might have been an arm shot as well. Got to be careful you don't run your teammate over there, unfortunately. He's got grenades on his belt. You can see them. What have we got? Stims, first aids. He's happy. Level 2, level 2, level 3. Circle, dead center. I mean, it's a nice place to be. You do have this hill to play off of where they are, but you have to be careful of your backside as well. If someone does come down upon him, he could be in all kinds of trouble. Ewan, oh, that's a grenade. That's a bloody damn good grenade. He's got no health whatsoever. It came through. He's going to throw one back himself. Goes too far to the left, and Ewan will get a second one thrown at him. So Kobe comes in from Voxic. Easy knock from him. Now they see him, now the seal, now he's dead.
Yeah, Avian is going to finish off his old teammate right here. Ewan is out of the game, and the Knights still have 3 players alive. In the southern side of the zone alone, Keen is making a really far rotation here. He has spotted this do that, so you can just continue going. But look now, everybody's inside the water town because you want to have the southern part of the water town. You see FaZe, they're moving into those triple houses here on the southern part, but you also have Reals, you have Riskness, you have so many teams in the water trying to make their way in as well.
Look at this, Liquid, all of Liquid. That's not good. Oh, wait, we just lost 2 teams. Excuse me, 1. I think that was Keen, so I think maybe that's a Vanga gone. Drain is out as well. We just saw him down. Shade 1, so that to me, I would say Na'Vi have gone.
Yeah, it looks like it indeed. Na'Vi is out of this game. And Genside, they're slowly making their way inside the zone as well as we on the western side. Vitality is in the castle, but look at how many teams is in the water and around the water still. We have Liquid, you have Kingwin, you have Suntouch's team, you have Crimson, you have 4 or 5 teams at least in the water side. They're trying to salvage these points right now.
I like what FaZe have done. They've pushed through Watertown, stroke Atlantis. They've pushed through to take that biggest, largest compound, mainly that circle. You know that if you the closer to the center you get, the more chance you're going to have at least been inside the circle when it updates. The rest of the teams will have to move through. Suntouched, he gets whacked with a grenade from Pybas. He's knocked now.
He's out.
In fact, no, he's dead. Excuse me. So that's them in Imperial in 12.
Yeah, it is indeed. Kingwin as well. They only have 1 or 2 players alive. It looks like it's only Miracle left, actually. No, Vard is in the Atlantis as well. DC 3 guys alive on the eastern side. They did lose Ewan. Crimson still inside this new zone. And the new zone is going to pop very soon. We're going to see it shortly.
Havu have just gone for a crate, so I'm interested to see what gun he got. I think that's a ghillie suit. I see one of the players in. Also, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I may have seen a FaZe member sniffing around the other crate. So potentially that also could be there. Vitality of Roxy, he's down. Jorsey comes in with a headshot. That's the M4. The finish is there as well. 12 points to Havu. Not the best of weekends so far, Vitality, have they?
No, not what they would have hoped for and trained for. They were really sad not being able to go to Global Loot League because they didn't have that good season in it. But I mean, Vitalis is also one of those kind of orgs that could potentially, if they don't do good next week, they could be sending them to the US.
So question here then, look at Liquid. They're going to hit the beachhead. They're going to have a fight that they have to take. Liquid could potentially gatekeep like a bad man here if they really, if the teams go that way. There is so many potentials to pick up a load of kills. Everyone now has to move. Vitality, Gent side. Samsey finds Rixnaz on the floor. Peekaboo, friend, see you later. He's dead. They go out in 11th. Catches one, and now all of a sudden FaZe, they have the information. There's a player lurking here. Havu, it's time for them to move, but they're going to be running down the barrel of the gun. Yes, indeed, he did get the crate. He does have the ghillie. Hexati.
Another nade. They know Liquid is out here. They really want this to happen right now. They want to stay on top. FaZe want to make sure that they are the winners of this first qualifiers. Liquid, 2 guys knocked. Samty's alive, and might be able to pick them up.
Jemty's going for the angle. That's an AWM as well inside the kill feed. Eggy Dorp falls victim to one of the boys from Havu, more than likely the one in the ghillie suit also. Big boy gun in play. Everyone has to watch their face now. Jempty, he did get the angle. He pushed further into Watertown to get the level 3 soft top. Excuse me, flat top. There you go. 1, 2, thank you. Fade. So no drop there will come through unless it did just hang off the one come across. Did they smack head and toes against Digital Chaos?
I mean, this is a really smart move from Digital Chaos. They would rather be on the hill than be on all the pressure, or take on all the pressure from the city. Crimson is there, Kingwin is there. There's so many teams there already, and they have to put...
They have a foothold. But it's FaZe still locking down these compounds. There's a lot of fights going down. Crimson Pybas finally finished him off. So at least Kingwin, they pick up 12 more points. Vad does get it. M4, level 3, level 2. He can just keep poking his head. Needs to be careful of these bars, though. It doesn't. Not going to stick on there, and you are laughing. Vard, finally, Kingwin, they fall victim. See you later.
Right here, right now. And this next zone is really going to dictate what's going to happen here. Shiv is just going to try to snake his way in, but I don't see him taking anybody down from either DC or FaZe. This Rich is so strong in this position here. They're going to stay there. FaZe is going to stay there as well. This next zone is really going to dictate the win of this. Most certainly a certain 4 plane ticket for them.
You have to.